Welcome to Old Guys Still Rock. Super grateful you gave us a look or a listen. We specifically developed this podcast for friends or soon-to-be friends who are in the 40-plus category. This podcast is a platform to not only have your voices be heard, but also for others who are going through the same thing and know that they too aren't alone. Our topics may be business, topics may be entrepreneurship, our topics may be social, or our topics may be just everyday life. Whatever it is, we hope that you give it a share and leave us a comment. But most of all, if you want your voice to be heard, please leave us a comment on how to get a hold of you so you too can be an old guy that still rocks and help build our community. Until we speak again, stay safe, but most of all, God bless. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are when you're watching this. If this is your first time here, you have stumbled upon one of the greatest podcasts you'll ever see in your life. Old Guys Still Rock. I am Blair Armstrong of Team Armstrong Coldwell Banker, located in beautiful Palm Desert, California, where today is a nice ripe 115 with about 40% humidity. Woo! And yeah, it is gorgeous outside. And then again, if you don't know, I am a Team Armstrong Coldwell Banker. We are a global luxury specialist in the world of residential real estate, really from all the way from Palm Springs all the way out to Coachella. If you want to know what that is, look that up, and then you can kind of see all the cities in between. And then on my right, very good friend of mine for almost 30 years, Brent Wright with Brent Wright Incorporated. Again, first time here. Man owns body shops to wellness centers to detail
real estate
shops, payroll companies, property management. If this guy owns it, it's probably turned into gold. Didn't happen overnight. It's been a course, as I said, I've known him for 30 years. He was doing it before me, and is just taking every time, just fine-tuning every day. Not perfect, but it is excellent. So, how are you doing, man? A little bit longer intro today.
Yeah, doing great. Day 4, 75 hard. I did 2 practice days before that. Definitely different than last time.
What's different?
So this is the 3rd time. Difference is me, my mindset. Instead of just looking at something to check off the box or to just get it done or just PR a little bit. Like on one of my practice days, I PR'd by 200 yards on my ruck. 200 freaking yards on a practice day. Like that's, I'm getting a pace going. I've got a nice clip. The wife and I are doing it together, which is huge. She's the one who pushed me. Feeling pretty good about all of it. Just overall, I would say a general mental and cognitive results this time. It's different. It's just different. I feel different. I feel like more prepared. I feel like I'm physically able to do it. Like I'm not just checking the boxes and dragging tail to get it done every day. It's just been a difference.
Yeah, and I hear you checking boxes. 3rd time through, I've done it twice. You're on a 3rd time to it. And I would say, well, it's different because you know what to expect, or is it a light switch that goes on? Like, okay, it's time to get after it.
It's an aha moment. It's a light switch for sure.
Yeah.
It's. I know I have to get uncomfortable, and it's easy to say, but to do it, whole different bag of apples, whole different. And so my calves are burning. My shins are burning every day. I get up and I'm ready to get after it. I've had to modify my morning though, because I used to get up and get right in the cold plunge and then go to work. Now, I did it. I messed up the first day. I went and did my ruck, and then I came back and got in the cold plunge, and like everything froze up. Like everything's just burning and on fire, and like, no, this sucks. So I asked April, and she's like, yeah, you're not supposed to get in the cold plunge after you work out. So do it before. So tomorrow on day 5, I'm going to get in the cold plunge and then go do my ruck and then come back. And then I'll probably dunk my face in the cold plunge to get woke up again and get rolling. So
yeah. I will say this. I know I got a lot of stuff on my plate, and I mean, I guess I could do it. I just know that with stuff what's coming up, that it's near impossible to finish right now. Just whatever. So I'm a little bit jealous that you're doing it.
well, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Because I have so much on my plate. April's like, what's holding you back? I'm like, I have a lot coming up. We've got her surgery. We've got to get prepared for. We're going into our busy season for payroll, selling season. We're going into our busy season for the body shop. We're going to be transitioning a little bit. We still stay pretty busy through like November for the detail shop. I have a house that I'm buying, and I'm going to be flipping either into a rental or flipping into selling it. And it's going to need a lot. It's going to need like $125K. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to do because a lot of contractors are booked out 6-8 months, And so, yeah, it's organizing. It's I'm going to have to get so bloody uncomfortable that it's going to push me. I'm going to be working 20-hour days for some days and trying to get this done. And so I was like, I got to do this. She's right. I need to put my purse down and just get after it.
Yeah. I hear you. So good for you for doing it. Keep pushing it. I know that I have a client turning into a friend. I think she's in day 52, 53, Betsy Meyer. So if you're watching this, I know we've mentioned you a couple times. She has promised me after she hits 75 days that she's coming on this episode to share her experience and why she did it, the journey that it's really going to be after this. She's already talking about, hey, did you do the Live Hard program, which is basically almost 180 days, if not a little bit more. Well, it's a whole year, but I mean, it's 180 days of being into the program. But
right.
And I said, just know if you do that, you're going to look things a lot differently.
100%. Almost to a point of irritation. Would you agree?
Yeah. And that's why I said it's not, your relationships will be different. And they could be a good way, but there's a lot of people that don't understand the process behind it. And it's not that we're better than anybody else who goes through the program or not. It's just, you just look at things a little bit differently. And
I'm better than a lot of people, bud. I'm better than a lot of people.
Sure.
I'm better than the 49 Brents before.
Right.
Those are the people I'm better than.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I'm trying to be. So I try not to qualify that. Like I'm not better than I am. I'm better than a lot of people that I used to be.
Yeah. Too. And let's go back to this because I like that because I actually talked to somebody about this today. And I think that we want to, you can be treated equal, but be different. I think that there has been a point in time, and we're way off the subject, by the way, so we're going to get into this a little bit. But I want to really capture what Brent said. Yes, he's better than the 49 Brents beforehand. We could actually go over an episode number 61. Brent today is better than 60 episodes ago. The point I'm going to say is that it's okay to be better than somebody else because equality is great and everything. But there is, regardless of what people tell you, there's a competition in this world.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to be the winner. Sometimes you're going to be the loser.
Yep.
Some days you're going to win championships. Sometimes you're going to DFL.
Yeah.
So, and you just take it for that. So, yeah, I think that you're right. No one can be on the same playing field every single day. That's why we watch sports. So yeah, you are better. You're better than me today, right? And so I mean, now I can look back and like, damn, okay, he made this sacrifice. Okay, that pushes me to do those things, or I could be the
Yeah.
lackadaisical person and say,
Yeah.
he's just stupid. It's like when I tell you you're stupid for not going on vacation.
My family might agree with you,
You
but
know?
in my heart, I know that if I am not a better Brent on vacation for like the first 3 days, I got to take 10 days off
Yeah.
because of 3 days to wind down. I get 3 days of vacation
Yeah.
and then 3 days to ramp up and a day of travel each way. Right. So,
No, well, I know like around September 19th, we'll be doing this episode and I'll have a Mai Tai in my hand. So it'll be all right. Maybe September 20th. So anyway, let's get into it, man. We go about this. And guys, thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for subscribing. We're growing every day. We're doing some different things. I have you noticed after the last 4 episodes, I think this is episode number 5, that I am not in my element of my typical studio. We are going to hopefully get that set up today. I am working on a couple different things to get it all set up nice and looks good. And then we will back to be normal broadcast material on there. So I'm looking forward to that. It's been quite the transition. So anyway, but I hope you enjoyed the episodes. Again, if you haven't, just like we said at the beginning of the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell. And dude, share the freaking show. As we said, we're not a monetary podcast. We got some stuff coming up today that we're going to. Brett and I had a really good conversation about some things that we want to spearhead about this. But really, 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 really need you to share this show and get it out there to get impact on this, because guys are really good. Some of us are really good at sharing memes on Facebook and Instagram, which are division in every single one of our episodes that we have is really talking about cohesion and not division. So
speaking of which,
yeah.
Thank you, Kyle and Melissa, for sharing the show and doing the exercise. Your hat and T-shirt are in the FedEx box and shipped out yesterday. So,
good.
Yeah, and Blair's stuff he'll have his stuff in a couple days too. So he'll be able to ship out or give stuff locally. So if you're local to that Coachella Valley, again, if you don't know where it is, look it up on the map, like he said.
Yeah.
But if you come on the show, you come down to his office, local folks, thank you. Yep. Come in, pick up your hat and T-shirt. All you got to do is come on or like and share the show. It's simple. It's simple. And these are high quality, dude. Like these hats are freaking amazing. I also threw in a sweatshirt for you.
Oh, good, dude.
So, yeah. So, one of those cold days when it's like 85 for you. Yeah.
It's coming actually pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, it's right now it's not, but there will be mornings starting in November that'll be sweatshirt weather for me, because we'll be used to whatever. So
yeah,
I want to talk about you. You sent me something the other day. I have it on here. Let me see if I get back to this. You basically said, here it is, and I don't need to look it up.
I can look it up.
Yeah, no, it's just basically it's a proverb, and you might go ahead and look it up so you can read it.
Yep. Proverbs 23:7, for as he thinks in his heart, so is he. You cannot have a positive life and a negative mind.
Yeah. So the great thing about that I really like about why you pulled that, and that's going to be the topic of it, is this. Proverbs, even though in the Bible is massively used to the world of entrepreneurship mindset. So, and some of you guys see Proverbs and may not know that it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. But the great thing about Proverbs is you can read a chapter a day.
31.
And it has 31. And then you can start over at the beginning of the month. Go through it again.
I've been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it is tough. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror for 3 minutes, right?
It always changes. But there's wisdom behind there. And that is a great thing about this world. It's not how much you really gain monetarily. Yes, it's nice to have money. I'm not saying that you don't want that. I'm just saying is that the wisdom is probably the most important part, because the
Mm-hmm.
wisdom changes every day. Like Brent said at the beginning of this episode, he's a better Brent than he was 49 Brents ago. Reading this proverb, if Brent goes back and reads it, 2 years ago or 2 months ago, whatever that may be, that was a different Brent right there. Why? Because he's taken that wisdom, or that wisdom has basically been saturated into his being, if you
Yep.
may, to push him to become better, to make this transition from going this crazy life, or realistically, you looked at it on paper, and I guarantee you this, there's no way that most people could fit 75 hard in his life. Just can't.
I'm struggling.
The guy has, uh, he doesn't have an off switch. He has kind of like a dimmer switch, but it's never fully off.
Yeah.
And that's also what's very impressive about it. So, what inspired you when you read that day? What inspired you? Like, hey, let's talk about this. What did it mean to you? How are you utilizing it, not only for yourself but people around you?
So my blessed wife, April, you are truly, truly the reason for every season for me. 100%. She sent this to me, and she's like, get the negativity out of your mind, get it out of your space.
Mhm.
Don't question yourself about 75 hard. I mean, she sent this to me 2 days ago. So that was on day 2 of 75 hard. And she's like, you're doing the right things. Keep doing the right things. I just want you to know, you know, get that negativity out of your head. And so I went a little bit further into it. And for me, there's been a lot of negativity coming out of the news. There's been a lot of negativity on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it today. Sorry, Elon. Don't mean to offend. But yeah, there's just so much noise, if you will, and everybody is buying into it in the way that works for them or doesn't work for them, right? And so, you get both sides of the coin. So just let's go down the rabbit hole a little bit with the Olympics. So everybody's like, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. They apologize. They didn't apologize. It's noise. It's negative noise that if you allow it to consume you, it will consume you 100%. And on top of it, it will poison you. It just poisons your day. We talked about this. One negative thought can affect you for 5 to 7 hours. So for 5 to 7 hours, after you read, after you watch, after you respond, all you keyboard warriors out there, God bless you, but you're not helping.
No.
You're just not helping. You're not helping yourself, and you're not helping others. So if it offended you, good. If it didn't offend you, good. If it allowed you to take a different perspective, good. Jocko talks about it all the time. Good, good, good. Now what? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to take action? Are you going to make a difference? Are you actually going to do something besides type a bunch of garbage to somebody and argue with them? Is that helping you? Is that solving anything? I mean, we talk about going to make a damn difference on here all the time, every freaking episode. But how much energy? Let's just measure the amount of energy that was expended in the last 10 days that we could have taken that energy and changed the world. So if everybody looked at it for 1 hour, so how many people are in the world? 10 billion people? 12 billion people?
Right.
So 1 hour a day for 10 days. 10 times however many people. Like, just the zeros are tremendous.
Yeah, and I want to take what you just said, and I hope that you guys rewind that because I think we've talked about that a lot. We talked at the beginning of the episode. Listen, we could spend all day, and I'm gonna preface this with saying I was in that rut for the last couple of days, and I kind of realized this morning. There's a story behind it. We'll probably come back to this, but I want to preface saying is like I have been down the rabbit hole. There's different things watching. Uh, you're like, okay, you know, you got men fighting women in boxing for the Olympics. You've got this controversial thing, take it as you may. You know, people of faith have it one way. I'm there. It's frustrating. We talked about this a lot last episode. We are in a full blown spiritual warfare, believe that or not. If you don't want to believe in God, that's fine. I'm just telling you, we could go with Star Wars. This is Luke Skywalker against Darth Vader right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is full blown thing. And the whole point of this is to create from the Olympics to the news to Facebook to Instagram. There are basically, there was another great point I heard the other day. There's 12-year-olds creating this content that we're seeing on social media to create people to get mad at each other. And I get mad because, like, what are you thinking? Why are we going down this path? And they said it last night. Our leadership is going, what is a scary, scary thing is we are going to pick a leader of this free world by emotion and not by policy. And that is super, super scary. So going back to what Brent said is, you know, are we having a positive mindset or are we having a negative mindset? And if we allow what Brent was reading out of that proverb right now is we have a negative mindset in our heart. And what is in our heart is our soul. And what is in that, you can tell a lot about what's in people's heart by what they come out of their mouth, right? I'm guilty of it. I say some bad things. I get frustrated. 75 hard. I hate you, Andy Frisella, for putting me into that mindset. But you look at things a different way. The point the thing I said is, and when you were talking, this just popped in my thing is, what's going on right now? Because it's so bad for your being. It is a different version of porn.
Mm-hmm.
Want to look at studies on porn, what it does negatively for anybody's mind, men or women, it is toxic. And that's what I just feel like we're going through right now.
Well, not just that, it's physiologically toxic, right? So anything that zaps your cortisol and puts you in a state of adrenaline on a constant basis, right?
Right.
So let's just go down the rabbit hole. So if 30 minutes of watching that garbage, I'm going to call it what it is. It's freaking garbage. It's just poison to your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, every piece of it, right? So 30 minutes of that zaps your cortisol down to virtually zero and expends almost a full day's worth of adrenaline in 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So you have no gas in the tank. You have nothing to give your wife. You have nothing to give your kids. You have nothing to give your community. You have nothing to give yourself. Mm-hmm. Why would you take that stance and poison yourself to do that?
This is exactly why we do this episode. So again, if this is your first time here and you're going through these guys, what do these guys know? Listen, we know what you know. We know that we don't like where we're at right now, that the world is super messed up. And we created this content to maybe let you think of something different just for a little bit today.
Yeah.
You know, you could be on the right, you could be on the left, but realistically, everyone kind of wants to be in the middle, and they really. I believe that everybody wants to be in a free country that we have here in America. I believe everybody wants to have a job. I believe everybody wants to have money, and I believe everyone wants to have the nicest house possible and drive the nicest cars possible, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. We also believe on here, and you can go back through all the episodes that we have to. Our common thread is leadership, right? Just be the leader. I believe everyone has a leadership quality in them.
Lead yourself first, however, right?
Yeah. And there are going to be times when you're going to need a pruning. You're going to have branches in your life that need to be cut off so new shoots can grow out.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your faith is, let that be the stump and let those shoots come out of there. So reading is a good spot. Having conversations like we're having here. Come on here. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Bring it on.
I'm dropping her name right now, brother. You're going to be able to help me out, but she's very good at responding on our
Andrea.
Sorry.
Yep.
Andrea, my apologies. She leaves some good comments, and that's what we're asking for. Let's get that type of conversation going on there. And regardless if you think it's crazy or not crazy or it's way off topic, put it out there so at least we can have conversations to either facilitate helping you get better, helping us get better. Just one more starfish.
Yeah.
Out there.
And thank you for watching, Andrea. Thank you for commenting and responding and being an active participant. We really appreciate that. Andrea's been a great friend for a long time for me. Started out as a referral customer from, you're going to love this, I'm going to take you back a few years. Angela Canary hired a lady named Marcia Holyfield who worked with Andrea at the bank, and Marcia used to work for Angela and then went to work at the bank after that. And then she's the one who introduced me to Andrea.
Wow.
And then I worked on Andrea's car and became friends. And Yep.
That's some years ago.
Yep. 100%.
Good for you.
Like 15 years. So I appreciate you. Appreciate you helping and supporting and following and commenting. It's been a great ride. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So just again, Andrea, thank you so much for your support. You're always on there. We can see your comments on there. Been a little slow on the draw to respond back to you. We'll get back to your questions on there as well. But
anyway, come on the show.
Come on the show. You have some good questions, Andrea. So here's your challenge. You have some great questions. Why don't you come on here? It's super simple. We will walk you through it. We'll hold your hand. I know, I always tell people the first time on here, it's kind of a little intimidating. And also the next thing you know it, you have the floor and you won't stop talking. So
on that, Ray Dalio posted, and I reposted this morning, appreciate the art of thoughtful disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take you back a little bit to the Andrea discussion and our relationship, right? So Andrea and I are both Christians. She's Mormon. I'm not. Okay. She has a different belief system than I do. She may or may not. I don't even know your political association, Andrea. So that's how we agree on some things. We disagree on certain things. We talk it through. She respects me. I respect her. Again, that's what we need to normalize is the art of thoughtful disagreement. And we've had long, somewhat heated discussions about religion, about politics, about how to raise our kids. She's raising her son is similar age to my kids. And she's got a different way of doing it. I've got a different way of doing it. She asked about this. She asked about that. I ask about this. We don't agree a lot, but we are still friends and we still appreciate each other and we appreciate our different perspectives. And so I would tell you that, if you're going to go make a damn difference, start with you, then start with your friend group, and then let it build from there.
Yeah, I think, let's go look at one of the most successful podcasts that has ever been made is the Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He brings people on there that don't fit his mold. Same thing with Ed Milet. Frisella's the same way. These are the three guys that I know have successful podcasts on there. There's different things. Even we can go. I'm going to say this name, and people are like, "Oh my gosh!" Tucker Carlson. He brings guys on there that are not in the same mindset of him. He's a good interview, but what the point of it is what Brent exactly said is like, listen, just because we don't agree on every single thing together doesn't mean that we can't have conversations to listen to. We talked about last week with Charlie Kirk and Young Turks. They had different mindsets politically, but there were common threads that they agreed on, or like, that makes sense. So why can't we do that? And it's, again, we're not saying like, hey, we're doing Brett and Blair are doing this, and this, and this. That's not what we're saying. Is we are trying to push that forward. Like, hey, come on, guys, we've got to be better than this. And then, at the end of the day, taking emotion out of it and figure like, how do we become a better America? How do we become better citizens? How do we become a better community? How do we become a better neighbor? How do we end up really? How do we become a better husband, father, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter, whatever that may be? There's just a lot of stuff, and it all tends from what is in your heart is going to come out of your mouth. What is in your mind is going to go to your heart to come out of your mouth.
Well, it's going to come out of every pore of your body. Right. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, right? When you're standing in line at the grocery store or checking out somewhere, and there's somebody that is just, you can clearly see they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
And they have this energy around them, and you just fear stepping into that energy bubble, right?
Yeah.
Because it just feels bad. It feels dirty. It feels like you're going to get sucked into this vortex of like hellish emotion and thoughts and feelings. And, it's not great.
It's not great at all. And there's a lot of things we can do if you just take it again. We're pushing our podcast today, or I am.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of great information in there. We go back and watch it. I'm held accountable with it from my wife all the time for saying this.
Same.
You better do this, right? When we have these conversations, one thing that you may or may not know, for all of those people who've watched it and those people who are soon to watch this episode, we are far from scripted. Everything come on here. This is live. There's no like, hey, we need to put this in there or take this out. Is typically I cut off the front and I try to cut off the end. And whatever happens in the middle happens in the middle. Sometimes we stay on topic, sometimes we don't. But it is a mindset of what we're thinking about realistically all the time, all the day. How do we become better? How are we going to accomplish this? How are we going to get over this hurdle? Now that we've done that, how do we help the Ken McCumbers, the Gigi Matacos, the Brent Wrights, the Ken Johnsons, the Ednas, the Caitlins, the Andreas, Van der Linder, is that Van Linden?
Van der Lindens, yeah.
Van der Lindens, I'm sorry, I butchered names really bad. But those are the things. So when we're doing this podcast, how are we going to give them information? And maybe they already have that information, but here's another cheat code that they can use that embeds into them that they can go on and spread it. And that's why we say, share this show so you don't have to come up with new rhetoric. And if there's one thing in there, just take a clip of it. Like, hey, watch this clip. And then what do you think about this? Yeah. And if you hate us and we think we're stupid, then let us know that too.
I'd be happy to hear that. I'd be happy to have that conversation. That'd be fun.
Yeah. If you want to write us hate mail, and I'm okay with that. Just have a good topic and make sure that you come
prepared, because we want to talk about it. This is going to be fun. Put on the party hat. Let's play chess.
I'm all good debate, and I was very excited to get some of our completely again, as I said, this is super raw, but this will be the last episode that I will be on here without an old OGSR hat on. So I've just got to figure out after we go and see clients, they're like, hey, you've got hat head. Maybe I'll just keep my hair short.
Yeah.
So anyways, man, I think that we've kind of got the point. We can probably beat it up a little bit longer on here, but some final thoughts?
So religiosity aside, take a look at Proverbs. Mm-hmm. Whether you're a participating Christian, whether you're not, whether you are Hindu, Sikh, Mormon, pick something. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right. Take
a look at Proverbs for what it really is and what it really says, and look at it as a guidebook to help you through 31 days. Mm-hmm. And I would tell you that if you just open your heart to the possibility that there might be knowledge out there that might help you to get through your day, get through your week, get through your month, get through your year, and make a difference in your day, so that way you can make a difference in others, I would challenge you to take a look at that. Mm-hmm. That's really what this episode is about positivity, creating a positive mindset here so it comes out here. And then go make a damn difference.
Yeah. So I got a challenge, dude.
Okay.
Challenge for our guys. Again, just off top of my head. For all of you that watch this episode, and we're hoping that you were watching it. Actually, I'll use it as a little clip for this. But for all of you that watch this episode, our challenge, Brett and I'm going to speak for him on this. Our challenge is for you guys to find a proverb, read it, and tell us why it affected you either negatively or positively. But you have to leave it in comments on YouTube or Spotify. You have to leave it in comments on there. And then we will send you out some swag for participating. So again, look up Proverbs. You can Google Proverbs. If you don't have a Bible, Google Proverbs on the internet. It's super easy to find. Read through them. Find one that really sticks out to you or hits home. Tell us why it affected you either negatively or positively, and we will reach out to you.
So I use one called Bible Gateway. It's got it in all different versions of the Bible.
Yeah.
Which is baffling to me, but anyways, that's a whole nother subject, whole nother podcast. But anyways, it's very easy to read, very simple. And I just keep it up on my computer all day, and I push myself to read just a little bit. And especially when negative things come in to my sphere, then I will use it to push that stuff out. Yeah. And so that's a little cheat code that I use for the last 2 years. It's been helpful. So
absolutely. Yeah. So that's it, man. It's a good week. I know we covered a lot of stuff. Thank you guys for listening to our tangent on there. But, we really, really, really hope that you take this episode seriously and start making adjustments that you need to make, because guaranteed everyone's going through everyone's going through it right now. That's the temperature. So take a little bit, watch this episode, share this episode, turn us off again, but tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, tell us what you think we need to fix. Do something. As Brent says, go make a damn difference. Until we see each other next week, I will be in a different studio. Brent will be the same, but we'll have our old guys still rock gear on. But you guys have a great, great week. Go make a freaking difference. Stay safe, but most of all, God bless.